Hey everybody, welcome back to In the Gutter. Let's talk comics. I'm Wade, and this is part 11 of the Screenwriter collection. We're going to look at two boxes in this video, which is box 24, which was unlabeled, thus full of surprises, and box 25 was Dark Horse, Star Wars, and Darth Vader. So let's take a look at the unlabeled box first. This box was unlabeled. Start off with Stray Dogs Part 5, Stray Dogs Dog Days, Stray Dogs Dog Days 2, Star Wars Droids number 1, number 6, number 5, number 4, number 4, must be two different series here. Guessing mini and regular series. Number 3, 2, Classic Star Wars Early Adventures 1, 2, Star Wars Droids 1 of 6, and 3, so it's a mix. Punisher invades the Nom number 67. Daredevil versus Punisher means it ends 1. Guardians team up 1, 2, 3 up 5. Avengers Invaders 1 of 12. Iron Man Thor 1. Ant-Man Franklin Richards versus Galactus. It's Marvel Team Up 137. Stan Lee meets Doctor Strange number 1. Stan Lee meets Doctor Doom number 1. Stan Lee meets The Amazing Spider-Man number 1. Meets Silver Surfer number 1. And number 1 of Stan Lee meets The Thing. Some WWE comics. Undertaker 0 from Wizard. Undertaker 2. Not sure who this is. WWE. It may just be WW number 1. Sorry. Again, another number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Action figure variant of Paul Bearer. Wrestling Legends. Number 5. Another action figure variant. Ravishing Rick Rude. Number 7. Number 8. Cesaro action figure variant. Again. British Bulldog. Naomi. Jeff Hardy. Kurt Angle. Jinder Mahal. Diamond Dallas Page. Mickey James. Xavier Woods. Zack Ryder. There's quite a few of these. Carmella. King Booker. Tyler Breeze. 2018 Royal Rumble Special number 1. WrestleMania. I don't know what the actual title is. WrestleMania 2018 Special number 1. SummerSlam number 1. Survivor Series 1. WWE Forever number 1. Ringside number 1. 2, 3. And 2. Afterlife with Archie number 1. Number 2. Number 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Sabrina number 1. Jughead The Hunger number 1 shot. Number 1 1-shot. Jughead number 1 The Hunger. I guess it's not a 1-shot. Jughead number 2 Hunger number 2. Jughead The Hunger number 3. Number 4. 5. 6. 8. 10. Vampironica number 1 and number 2. Archie meets the B-52s. Red Sonja and Vampirella meet Betty and Veronica. Archie meets Batman 66, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 5, number 6. Harley and Ivy meet Betty and Veronica, number 1. Archie meets the Ramones, number 1. Punisher meets Archie, number 1, die cut cover. Archie versus Predator, number 1 of 4, 2, 3, and 4. Archie versus Predator 2, number 1 of 5. Archie versus Sharknado, number 1. All new Archie comics, Archie number 1. Are these facing the other direction? They sure are. Alright. Hold for a box switch. 10,000 Black Feathers, number 1. Sergeant Rock versus Army of the Dead, number 5. 6. Red Goblin 1. The Closet, number 1. Oops. Edge of Spider-Verse 4. Spider-Man number 1 with the Scotty Young variant. Edge of Spider-Verse Part 2, number 2. That's actually Spider-Man number 2, my bad. Spider-Man number 4. Number 3. Non-bagged Joker, Man Who Stopped Laughing, number 1. Cosmic Ghost Rider, number 1. Crossover, number 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. Heroes Reborn 1 variant edition. Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen 1. Number 2. 3. Oh, 1 again. 2 again. Who Shot? Let's see. The Decoy Corps. Superman pal Jimmy Olsen number 3. Number 4. Number 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. And that's it. All right, so the unlabeled box had a few surprises in it. First of which being the Marvel Heroes Reborn number 1 with an Art Germ variant cover. It'd be a homage to Wonder Woman, very nicely painted. And for those of you who watch all these videos, 10 points for a guess at the next comic. A Scotty Young variant cover. This one being Spider-Man number 1 with a very broody and soaking wet Spider-Man. Love it. Kind of early money Dark Horse miniseries with Star Wars droids. Enjoyed that one quite a bit. Back in the day, when the Punisher showed up somewhere, it would add attention and sometimes value to comic books. This is the Nam, which is the Punisher Invades Part 1 of 3. It's kind of interesting when character crossovers weren't quite as popular. They were more exciting because they happen more infrequently. Very cool. All right. And then another issue in the Marvel Assistant Editors Month. This one is Marvel Team Up number 137, featuring Aunt May and Franklin Richards versus Galactus. Wonder who's going to win that one. This was new to me. I hadn't seen this before, but apparently after Stan Lee's 65th year working as an employee of Marvel Comics in one way or another, they did a Stan Lee Meets series where he teams up with or battles against the characters that he often, or he created or co-created. So here we have Stan Lee meets The Amazing Spider-Man, Stan Lee meets Doctor Doom, Stan Lee meets Doctor Strange, Stan Lee meets Silver Surfer, and Stan Lee meets The Thing. Haven't read these yet, but they look pretty cool. I enjoy Stan Lee very much as a person and a character. And here he's both, literally a character in one of his comic books. The big run of WWE wrestling stuff. This is completely off my radar, but the screenwriter here, had all the action figure variants, I assume. I pulled those aside. I'll have to sort through and see what the best way is to approach categorizing these, either by title or the action figure variants, or maybe both. And then things got out of hand with Archie during my 20 years off from comic books, but I do like some of the swings they're taking, and obviously sticking with an aging audience. We have Afterlife with Archie #1, and I brought out #2 just because that's such a cool cover. I'm always a little surprised that a property like Archie would be lent out to directions so extreme as this, but I think it's really cool, and it clearly draws a lot of attention. And in the same spirit, we have Harley and Ivy meet Betty and Veronica. But I like this one particularly because of the Adam Hughes cover, which is really awesome. And I like the police lineup, the whole thing. Again, with big and nifty back tattoo for sure. All right, so that was the unlabeled box. Let's take a look at Dark Horse Star Wars / Darth Vader.
This box is called Dark Horse Star Wars and Darth Vader Books. All right, so we have Marvel Star Wars Darth Vader #2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oops, Star Wars Darth Vader #2, #3, #5, #6, #7, #8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, Star Wars Darth Vader Annual #1, Star Wars Age of Rebellion Darth Vader #1, another Star Wars Darth Vader 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 17. Wait, this is #6, I think. Okay, so 5, this says 6. This has got to be a variant cover. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters, Darth Vader #12. I think is, again, it's a crossover. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Wow. Star Wars Target Vader 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Darth Vader Black, White, and Red #1. Star Wars Vader Dark Visions 1. Darth Vader in the Ghost Prison 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Star Wars Darth Vader in the Lost Command #1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Star Wars Darth Vader and the Cry of Shadows #1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Free Comic Book Day Star Wars. The Star Wars 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. True Believers Droids #1. True Believers Star Wars Covers #1. True Believer Star Wars Classic, number 1. Star Wars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Star Wars Tales from Mos Eisley, number, I guess maybe it's a one-shot. Return of Tag and Bank Special 1, 2. Empire's End 1 and 2. X-Wing Rogue Squadron Rebel Opposition number 1. River of Chaos 2. Golden Age of the Sith 0. Sith War 1. Tales of the Jedi Sith War 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Shadows of the Empire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Splinter of the Mind's Eye 1, 2, 3, and 4. Star Wars Dark Times 1. Ancient Empire Iron Eclipse, probably a one-shot. Rebel Heist 1, 2, 3, and 4. Boba Fett, Age of Rebellion 1, Variant 1, Boba Fett Twin Engines of Self-Destruction, Twin Engines of Destruction, Bounty on Barracuda. When the Fat Lady Sings number 2. Star Wars Blood Ties 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1. Blood Ties Boba Fett is Dead number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. May the Force be with you.
Okay, so we got the Dark Horse Star Wars Darth Vader box. Now I must admit, I have not read many Star Wars comics since the original Marvel series, and I knew once Marvel acquired it and we started publishing all of that, tons of titles, tons of characters, thus tons of keys. So if you look up which issues of new characters or historical, they're all written seemingly around that concept. But like the expanded universe, Star Wars can go in infinite directions, and it seems like the comics have been doing that. So I'm pulling a few of the highlights, and there are many. So Star Wars Darth Vader number 2 from the 2015 series is written up as first mention of Dr. Aphra, but then it said there was an ad for Darth Vader 3, and then there's a picture of Dr. Aphra on the cover of Darth Vader 3. So again, if you have an ad for a character or a preview, does that count as the first appearance? I don't know. I'm skeptical about that one. But if that is the case, that is the first official mention of Dr. Aphra. And then in Darth Vader 4 here is the second appearance of Dr. Aphra. Can't argue that one. Darth Vader number 2 from 2017 has the first cameo of Kirik Infila, a Jedi whose sole purpose is combat. So this is the first cameo. And then Darth Vader number 3 has the first full appearance of Master Kirik Infila, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a made-up name, so I think I am. Darth Vader number 5 is the origin, of Darth Vader's lightsaber. I actually want to read that and see where that came from. Love a good Kyber crystal story. All right, number 6 from the Darth Vader series is the first full appearance of the Grand Inquisitor. It's a nice book. Number 19 from the same series is the first cameo of the second sister, Trila Siduri. That one's a standalone, so I'll put it in the middle. I got a system for everything. Darth Vader, number 22 with the Galactic Icons variant with Jabba the Hutt, is the first Lord Momin, is the Sith who built Vader's castle and is a mentor to Emperor Palpatine, and has the first Darth Shah, who's the first female Sith in the current Star Wars canon. Nice little headshot of the hut there. Darth Vader 2020, number 1, is the first Z67 droid. And like I said, these Marvel Star Wars are lousy with first appearances. Star Wars Darth Vader number 5 has a very cool In-Hyuk Lee cover. And the first cover appearance of Din Djarin and Grogu on a standard comic book was in the variant edition of Darth Vader number 20. Now that's kind of cool, because like a variant cover, unlike an ad or a preview that was printed in a whole month's line of comics or something like that, I think it's kind of cool if it was like a little, almost like an Easter egg teaser on a variant cover from a different series. So I don't know, call me a hypocrite. This one I think it counts. Just because they're awesome. All the black, white, and red series I've enjoyed, or redder in some cases, but Darth Vader, black, white, and red number 1. These are always really cool little short stories, often a little violent, but that's where the red comes in. And then I'm intrigued. Star Wars Vader Dark Visions number 1. Seems like a story I would like to read. And then there was a series based on the original rough draft screenplay by George Lucas, The Star Wars. And I'm guessing this is Luke Starkiller and all the things like that. I actually had a copy of that script for a long time, and I parted ways with it, and I kind of wish I hadn't. I'm sure I could find a PDF online, but it's just not the same. And then characters I wasn't aware of, which I'm intrigued by, are the Tag and Bink. So we have Star Wars: The Return of Tag and Bink Special Edition, and the Star Wars Tag and Bink Episode 1: Revenge of the Clone Menace. I want to check these out because these are humorous stories of like events that happen in Star Wars, explained behind the scenes, where the happenstance of Tag and Bink, either on purpose or accidentally creating mayhem that led to real plot points in the movie. So I think it's super clever. And then just a good Dark Horse series with Star Wars Empire's End 1 and 2 in the box. And I believe these are these Dave Dorman covers? I think so. His signature's tiny, but I'm going to go with Dave Dorman on that one. And then I think the first expanded universe title or story written from Star Wars was Splinter the Mind's Eye. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the adaptation of that novel with Splinter of the Mind's Eye 1, 2, 3, and 4. I saw that book in a Kmart probably in maybe, I don't even know what year it was. Could have been around the time Empire came out, but it feels like it was right between Star Wars and Empire, and it confused me as a child. Clearly, I'm still confused today. But again, it's all my stellar research that I do before shooting these videos that makes me so popular. And then one of the other highlights in the final book I'm pulling out is the Star Wars Age of Rebellion Boba Fett concept design variant cover. It looks like an early take on what Boba Fett's helmet could have looked like. Very cool. Looks a little stormtroopery, but he can go underwater and still breathe, so that's really cool. All right, so those are the 2 boxes for this video. Still more to tackle and sort through and highlights to pull. So I appreciate your time, and until next time, keep your minds in the gutter.